Okay, welcome back to Objective 4. This is the quadratic section, and when we look at this question, you're looking at a fallen rock question or a thrown rock or something of that sort, okay? You got to look and see what it's asking you to find. So if you look down here, it's a multiple choice question where it talks about max height and when it hits the ground. Okay, these are two concepts that we got to play into here. Okay, and so when you talk about max heights happen at the vertex. So when you're looking for the vertex, you need to um, think negative b over 2a. This will give you the time at which this happens, and then you can plug that in and find the actual height. So if we do that for the vertex, that'll help us find this actual answer. And so what you'll do is you'll take the 128, and that's the positive 128 for B, and we'll make it negative over 2 times the negative 16. And that'll give us negative 128 over negative 32. And when you do that, you'll get positive 4. So 4, don't let that be your determining factor, because remember, this is the time it takes to get to the max height. Okay? So the max height happens, it happens after 4 seconds. So what you'll do is you'll take that 4, and then you'll plug it back in. So now we'll go negative 16 times 4 squared plus 128 times 4 plus 320. And when you type that in your calculator just as it is, you'll end up with 576. Okay? And so that's how you can eliminate A from being the answer and C. And then if you think about it logically, 320 is our y-intercept. That means we started on the edge of a cliff at 320 feet. We throw it up into the air. So would the maximum height that we threw it be the same height that it was that we were throwing it from? No, it would go up into the air and then come back down off the cliff until it hits the water. Okay? So that can help you eliminate some of the answer choices right out the gate. So now we need to determine, okay, it's either B or it's D. And so is it 10 seconds or is it 4 seconds? Again, you can think about this logically. If it was 4 seconds, that means it hits the ground when it's at its maximum height. We just said its maximum height is 576 feet, and the ground is at 0, okay, because it's 0 high. So that means that the rock could not possibly be on the ground if it's 576 feet in the air at 4 seconds, which we found right here. Okay, so that doesn't make any sense. So don't just jump on that because we saw 4. But how would you figure this out? Well, the fast way to do it is to use your calculator. If you'll turn it on and go to y equals and enter in the equation negative 16 and then use x. See how it's got x, t, theta, n? And then square it plus 28x plus 320. Make sure, double check your equation that is coming out right, and then hit graph. So you'll see it come up, and so it got thrown from 328 feet, but then it came down. You see where it comes down? It came down right here. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds down. It took 10 seconds to hit the ground. And if you look back here, 10 seconds is right there. So the answer to number 13 is B. Okay? Moving on to question 14. The length of a rectangle exceeds the width by 9 feet. Find the dimensions of if the area is 136 feet. So what you want to do, draw yourself a crude little rectangle. Label it. This will be the length. This will be the width. Okay? And it says the length, that's this guy, exceeds, which means it's more than, the width by 9 feet. Okay? So that means it's 9 feet more than the width. Okay? Well, the width is W, so that means it's 9 more than W. So that means that this, the length, equals W plus 9. Now, does it say anything else about W? No. So then you don't mess with it. So now it says area. Well, we're talking about a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So if you'll take the length and the width and multiply them together, it is, which means it equals 136. So if we do this, we'll get W times W plus 9 equals 136. I switched the order here, but it doesn't matter. You could have done W plus 9 times W if you wanted to. And you'll get W squared plus 9W equals 136. Well, then you subtract the 136 from both sides, because we need to get, when we have a square, the goal is to get everything set equal to 0 so that you can solve it by factoring or by the quadratic formula or by your calculator if you have it. Okay? Equals 0. Okay? So, to solve this, you'll have a trinomial, so you'll try the x. And so, I'll do a times c, which is negative 136, and then b will come down to the bottom, and we're thinking, okay, what will multiply to give me 136 and add to give me 9? Okay? So, you try it, and you're going to get... So what I would do is I would take negative 136, or just 136, and then they're going to subtract to get you 9. Okay? So just keep that in mind, you're subtracting. So you tried 2 and, was that 68? Okay, 2 and 68 aren't going to work. But what goes into 68? 2 and 34. So that means 4 times 34 works. Well, they're not there. Well, that's 2 and 17. So then 4 times 2 is 8, and 17 will work. So that means 8 times 17 works. And look, the difference, 17 minus 8 equals 9. So then you do 17 minus 8 equals 9. When you do that, you can then take your factors, W plus 17 and W minus 8 equals 0. And then W will equal negative 17 or positive 8. Since we're talking about W being a width, it can't be 17, so 8 must be the answer. So W equals 8. And then that means if W equals 8, 8 plus 9 is the other one, which is 17. Okay? And so you have the width is 8, and the width is 8, and the length equals 17. Okay? Now, if you think about what it tried to get you to do here, to find the factors, you had to figure out what multiplied to give you 136 and what had a difference of 9. Well, that's what it's telling you up here. So one alternate trick that you can do is think about, okay, 136 is close to 144, okay? And 144 is 12 times 12. So I'm going to split this up into 12 times 12. Now 12 and 12 are not 136, but it's near there, okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to think, okay, I need to get 9 numbers apart. So like that'd be like going 11 and 20. Well, 11 and 20 don't get you there. So let's think of numbers that end in 6 when you multiply them, like an 8 and a 7 give you 56, or 3 and a 2. So I could try like 13 and 12, but they're only one number apart. But if you tried 8 and 17, or 7 and 18, okay, those are close. They have a 7 and an 8, which would give you a 6 when you multiply them, like 56. And they could be close to 9 numbers apart. Well, this one's 9, but this one's 11. So it might be between these two. And if you multiply them out, you would get 136. So that's another way you can logically go through it instead of going through all this process. Okay? Question number 15. Okay, it says write this using fraction exponents. So you need to think, okay, what if I did it to the 6th power would give me 729? Okay?